Hello and welcome back to the Ellis Clark Train series of how-to videos. Today we're going to look at the Wickham trolley and we're going to fit a DCC chip to the Wickham. Now I must stress this is just fitting a non-sound chip. If you require sound on the Wickham, then you are best ordering the sound equipped model direct from ourselves. Before we start, I just want to say that the Wickham trolley should be run for at least half an hour to 45 minutes in each direction to make sure that the vehicle is working correctly and also as nicely bedded in all the gears, etc. Reasons for this are just to eliminate any DCC problems from analog problems. If the loco is running fine on analog, it will run fine on DCC. So the first thing we're going to do is just unbox the Wickham. There is the little fella. We don't need the rest of the items, so you can pop them over there. Tools that I'm going to use are a small blade screwdriver, a posi drive screwdriver, and a small posi drive screwdriver again. A pair of tweezers may come in handy, and also maybe a small pair of pliers we might need. If we look underneath, I'll just point using the screwdriver, you can see there are 4 screws on each side. These are the 4 little self-tapping screws that we need to remove the chassis. However, whilst you're doing it, do not, once you've removed the screws, do not just pull the chassis off, because the wiring loom is so delicate in these. It's one of these, just take your time with it. So the first things are, got it in this little cradle, we're just going to remove the end 2 screws on each side. Pop them onto a magnetic strip here. If you haven't got a magnetic strip or anything like that, just have a little glass container or a little saucer or something to put them in so that you don't lose the screws. If they don't come out, don't worry too much, because you can always get them out later on when you remove the actual chassis from the body. There we go, it's come out now. Then onto the middle 4. Okay, screws are now released. What you may need to do with the little flat screwdriver is just go in on the top of the black line in between the body panel and the chassis and just ever so slightly just tweak it apart. If you find that when you wobble it, it doesn't want to come, like here, look, it's just slightly stuck there. So all it needs is just a little blade screwdriver in and a little gentle twist. You probably heard the pop then as it went. This side's just the same. However, please don't just pull it straight off. It is a gentle little model and it will need a little bit of play just to get them off. Also down the sides there, just need to wiggle her in and you'll see that the chassis is starting to come away from the body. There we go, little click, and then was it coming away. The model will now start to lift away. There we go. Try to keep your thumb onto the motor case itself to stop the wiring loom here from coming adrift. It is tacked in with like a double-sided tape. Should your axle come out, all you need to do is just lift up the motor ever so slightly and drop her back in. There you go, just drop her back in. It's quite self-explanatory when you see how she fits. Okay, I'm going to keep my thumb on the motor to hold the wheels in line. If you look here, you've got a circuit board, and on the circuit board we've got the blanking plate. It's a Next18 chip that's required. We'll give full details at the end of the video. There's the blanking plate coming off now. And we're just going to pop in our new chip, or should we say the chip, not a new chip. It is a new chip, but a chip. Make sure when you fit it in that it is fully seated correctly, as that one is. Pop her back in. She will be tight to fit. They are designed to be tight on these. It's such a small model in 7mm. I nearly said 4mm then, being a 4mm modeler at home, but It is a 7mm model, and you forget that sometimes with how tiny it is. Once that's in, it's just a matter of keeping hold of it, making sure you don't get the wiring loom the wrong way around, popping her back together again, lining up the axle holes. There you go. Turn her back over, and now reinstate the small self tappers. You see they're starting to go back in now. Sometimes if you're having trouble with them, you'll get one in and it will start to pull down the other ones. There we go. Don't over tighten the screws, but they need to be tight, but not, you know, torque tightened down like a cylinder head. It's just middle ones are now starting to tighten up nicely, that the end ones are done. If you do your end ones first, you'll find it pulls the chassis down slightly. Then once you've done it, just make sure that the wheels are not have still got the side play and they are seated correctly. You'll feel that if I'm moving this wheel, you can see the other wheel is moving through backlash on the motor. Just make sure they're right. And then one last little thing, just make sure that your pickups, you've not bent any pickups away, and off you go to program your Wickham. Join us next time when we'll look at some other little items on the Wickham trolley to improve it, add some detail to it. Thank you very much for your time.